He's having a wonderful and fun morning. We got one more clip in a minute. But yeah, I just want to say to everyone, I hope that everybody is in a beautiful, wonderful place and state. And to the extent that you're not, we're here. You're not alone. Love all you guys, and Merry Christmas and good morning. Adam, Fernando, you guys out there? On this rainy Christmas morning in New Jersey. So, you guys there?
Good morning. Yes. Merry Christmas to. I think Fernando just hopped in.
Yeah, what's up, AZ? By the way, for those that don't know, Fernando's often off camera because he's showering during the huddle.
Sean, you gotta add some context.
that we just heard. That's Fernando's shower time is during the huddle. So he's muted because he's putting his head under the water and in the shower. And yes, that is actually happening.
Yes. So hello, team. And that has happened, but it's not currently happening. But yes, that is factually true. That's funny.
What's up? So good. Yeah. Good morning. And I think let's step in real quick and just say we'll do a few of these and we'll get to everybody. But how about just a magical Christmas memory and something that you're committed to creating as a fun Christmas moment in the future? And let's go with that. I'll start since my question popped for me. So I'll go Adam, Fernando, and then anybody wants to share. So incredible Christmas. I'll go two on both sides of my family real quick. One, I said to my dad last night, is WNEW, which is the rock radio station here in New Jersey. They would play A Christmas Carol every single Christmas Eve after midnight. And I spent Christmas with my dad, Christmas Eve with my dad, and then I come back early Christmas morning and open up presents with my mom, my stepfather, and my sister. And Christmas Eve, we listened to Scott Muni of WNEW reading and going through A Christmas Carol. And he had such an unbelievable voice. And it was so powerful. And it was a beautiful, magical memory. And oddly enough, it's nowhere on YouTube. It's nowhere findable. So if anybody ever has that clip of Scott Muni, and he did it for many years, and he's a very famous New York DJ, it would be amazing. So that's one. And second, I had the blessing and privilege for a number of years, and we're going to restart this tradition next year. I would have done it this year. I would bring my family to get a bus, and we would go around New York, and we would start the day by having breakfast on the bus, leaving from my office in Paramus. There'd be about 30 of us. It'd be my mom, her siblings, my grandmother, their spouses, and my cousins, my cousins' children, my children. And so we would head off to New York, and we would get there, and we'd begin the day by going to Bryant Park, going ice skating. We would go then to FAO Shorts, and the kids would all get to pick out a toy. And for those that don't have FAO Shorts, unfortunately, it's closed. It was a magical, incredible place for Christmas time. Arguably the most famous toy store in the world. It was right off of Central Park, and they had, wooden soldiers outside. Just amazing. Everything you could, it felt like you walked into Santa's workshop at the North Pole, and that's how everything was created. We would then find our way to lunch at Ellen's Stardust Diner right in Broadway, and my grandmother's name, Nani, was Caroline. Where is Caroline? She passed in 2018, the year that Tyler graduated high school. And at some point, they would sing Sweet Caroline, and the highlight was that my grandmother was not an outwardly expressive, especially people she didn't know, person. So she would be like eating her ice cream at dessert in Ellen's, and there'd be magical. Ellen's Stardust Diner has people who want to be on Broadway, and they're incredibly talented. And the waiters and waitresses sing and perform. So the grand finale for our time at Ellen's, and we have beautiful lunch and dessert, and just amazingness. They'd be singing Sweet Caroline to her. We'd all be crying, tears pouring down our face, and my grandmother would be like eating her dessert, looking straight ahead, refusing to even look at the person singing Sweet Caroline to her. This amazing moment of emotional, energetic transference across the entire restaurant. It was amazing. And then we head to the tree in Rockefeller Center, and we'd all get out. And again, John Kelly and his team would facilitate this magic. And we get out of the bus, and we would see the tree and walk around and take pictures together. And then we would end by going to see the Christmas Spectacular at Radio City Music Hall. And for those that have never experienced that, it is truly a magical, wonderful, and beautiful moment. So that those two traditions on my dad's side and what I created on my mom's side was, just such beautiful memories. And I would say for me going forward into the future, what's popping is recreating our Christmas party, Calgie, Unblinded, Christmas Spectacular, Exit to Exit, every partnership we're creating here, all of us celebrating at the end of next year. And the Rockaway Country Club holds 800 people. And I have an odd feeling that it is going to be quite difficult to figure out how to make the guest list and make 800 of our beautiful, amazing friends and family wonderfully fit. And my flag in the ground is it will be, and it's been magical, incredible. And when Nicole was created there, it's been mind-numbing. It will be whatever it's been, with 5 times the magic, 5 times the fun, 5 times the aspirational energy, and 5 times the heart and love. So I can see it, I can feel it, I can experience it, and magic and surprises everywhere. So there's my flag in the ground for December. We didn't have the date. I think Nicole is here. Nicole, if you want to hop in, what's that date for next year?
December 17th, 2021.
December 17th, 2021. Hold the date, because it's not my party. It's not Unblinded's party. It's all of our party that we're going to be having next year, remarkably and beautifully and spectacularly. So, Adam Gugino, brother, what do you got? Christmas past and Christmas future.
Yeah, and I love hearing, how your stories, you just always find such deep meaning, and the way you're able to just share the details and of all of it is, I wish I had one like that, but I just brings me back for sure to just every year spending Christmas morning with my mom, my stepfather, and my 2 stepsisters, who, since he passed away, we really haven't stayed close, but for all those years, we were always so close on that day. And my memory has always been, this time of year reminds me of one thing every time it comes around, that giving is always better than receiving. And it's just on Christmas, it's just so clear that you get to measure up, because you're receiving so much, and at the same time you're giving, and the giving is just way outweighs the feeling that you get for receiving. So it's just always clear on Christmas. And I would say last year's Christmas party for sure tops the list. I mean, if I didn't say it, I'd be lying. It was the most incredible experience that I've ever had, because not only was it amazing and all of its wonder and tink and what she created was, I knew going in it was going to be great. I heard things, I got the invite that was like, oh my God. And then, but then to actually experience it, it was above and beyond. And to start with, I don't know if we mentioned this last time, Sean, you could definitely speak into the Beck and Siri, video, and she was going through what she was going through at the time. And then on top of it, I mentioned my mom and my dad. Well, the fact that they were both there was amazing for me as well. I think I had to shush them a couple times, but when they were talking. But yeah, so my mom and dad both came to that Christmas party, and of course, I mentioned as well that they are no longer together. And sometimes there's some challenges when all 3 of us are together. But it was amazing. incredible. And yeah, I have to say, I'm looking forward to the next one. That would be my future Christmas party, December 17th. My experience that I can absolutely not wait for. And the reason why this one is going to be so much different, or I can't, why I look forward to it so much, as well as think about all the incredible people that we're going to meet for the first time in person that we haven't met yet, other than on Zoom. So that is for sure my future Christmas flag in the ground. Can't wait to experience.
Absolutely. And as Neil Gupta and I were speaking last week, love is acceptance. Unconditional love is acceptance. And it's not easy, right? It's not easy, but that's what it is. And as we work on our unconditional love and the generosity of our heart, it is acceptance. Doesn't mean we don't have boundaries, but it's the absence of blame and judgment, and it is acceptance, and love. So, Agogino, love you, brother. I am so proud of you, so thankful for you, and it is extraordinary to think about the blessing that you are in my life. So thank you.
Thank you, my friend. And I'm so grateful to have met you, and it has been by far one of the greatest gifts in my life, for sure.
Well, thank you. Fernando Valencia, what's up, brother? What do you got for Christmas past and Christmas future?
What up, Mr. SC and AG? I made sure to not be in the shower at this time, as I knew that the microphone was coming. So thank you for that, Sean.
And by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. Hey, Chaz, real quick, please keep trying to light me up. But I know you had a computer issue. And when you have that clip, it doesn't have to be that specific category from the group of people that it was there. It could be a more generic version without those guys in it. If you can find that, just when you have it, let me know. So, Fernando, go ahead.
Yes, thank you.
Real quick before Fernando goes, in integrity, I must mention that I am not wearing the orange hat that was received yesterday. However, it is home. It is not where I am. I had stayed by my father's house tonight. So I am not wearing the hat, but I promise, Mr. Clark, I will have the amazing orange Santa Claus hat that was sent to me to wear for sure on camera the next time I'm on camera and next week. So I just want to make sure that I added that in there. Back to you, Fernando. Thank you.
And there may or may be not a 120-year-old pickleball player on the hat. And we will see next week if that is the case. So with that, Christmas past, it was beautiful to listen, and I'm looking forward to continuing to hear one memory of Christmas past, a few, but one that, sticks and resonates for me in Christmas. I remember being a little boy, who knows, how old I could have been, but Pokemon was like all the rave. That was like Pokemon is what mattered. It was probably somewhere around like 2000, I don't know, 8 or 7. Or maybe even earlier. And I remember wanting what was known as a Pokedex. It was like this little machine that would like tell you all the different Pokemon and all the different statuses. And my brother, I have 2 older brothers. One is 44, the other's 42. I'm 29. So they were father figures to me my whole life. Specifically, my middle brother, G, I have immense love. Hands down, my first mentor, has taught me so much and created what my personality is today. He always gave me like the coolest gifts because he always like knew what was up. And I remember like sitting opening presents, and I got this box, and it was a freaking sweater. And I remember like the disappointment. I feel it in my nervous system. I remember the disappointment, and I tried to hold like my face, my tears, as I was like so confused. I was like, how could he do this to me? It was like I was in shock. And then lo and behold, under the sweater, like underneath everything, there was an additional box, and it was what I was looking for. And I just always remember that memory of like loving him so much more, even though I was so angry that he put me through that. I just remember that feeling. And ever since then, and for many others, I've had this desire to give to his children. I love them. Michael and Bella, 13 and 9. Bella's the love of my life, and Michael's my best buddy. And, to bring us and take us home and take us to the future. I remember, years later, I got to dress up as Santa one year. And I remember that memory because I'm one of the goofballs in my family. So for some reason, I decided to stuff a bunch of pillows, and Santa had like a really big butt that year. And, Michael loved it because I was being ridiculous and silly, and seeing like his belief in Santa. At that point, I was in my, later teens, 17, 18, 19. So, seeing this little boy like light up because I was a goofy Santa, just reminded, I guess would be the word, of what Christmas is all about. And it takes me all the way to yesterday. He is now 9. He still believes in Santa and elves, as do I. And Santa sent Michael a video, and we were all in the living room. And the outcome of the video was to see if Michael was on the naughty or good boy list. So, my brother Gio asked him, and he's like, yeah, I'm certainly on the good one, but I don't know, maybe. And then we were just kind of making fun of him, like, why wouldn't you be on the good list? And the point of this whole story, it's a 6-minute video. And there's this one point where Santa goes like into this machine, puts in like this snowflake that has all of Michael's data on it. It's a beautiful video. This little kid was sweating with nerves, like waiting to see. And at one point the machine was red, and he literally looked, it was, it's terrible for me to laugh at it, but he literally looked, he was about to cry because he thought he was going to end up on the naughty list. And he ended up on obviously the, amazing, as he is kind-hearted, loving, endearing. He just won Student of the Year for his class, being someone who cared, gives compliments, supports others. So just seeing him in that panic for those 5 minutes, just to remember what that feels like to remember Santa, was beautiful. And the night ended with being able to accomplish a life's goal of mine and give a gift to my family that I've always wanted to give. And I was able to say a little speech. And one thing I love about my family is they have no idea what I do. They couldn't even say one sentence of what I've done for a living. For the most part, they really couldn't. They know I'm a great speaker. I think it's like the best that they can encapsulate. At the same time, 100% support. I would go with 2% understanding, 100% support, and being able to do what I did yesterday, even this morning, when I got to like talk to my mom and dad about it. Just incredible what it's done and what they see, and their belief is rising. And I guess belief to me is Christmas, and just having them continue to believe in what I'm doing and support this movement, which I'm so committed to, is a really beautiful feeling. And it takes me to the future, which would be to be able to share what Adam and you, Sean, just shared, is to be able to share this magic with this movement and do something together. My flag in the ground is to continue this magic, try to keep up with Sean's pixie dust, and bring as much magic into this world of Unblinded together. That is my flag in the ground.
So what I'm envisioning for next year is the day before the party, the night before, for all people in Unblinded programs and our partners, we have a dinner together and an award ceremony. And then we have the party the next night. So let's throw a flag in the ground, like December 16th of next year, we have the Unblinded dinner together. And then the next night we roll it into the party with all the other people, parts, and things. I'm envisioning that as a possibility. And there's at least 5 people in the Huddle right now going, oh my God, another thing. We're going to end up doing. But yes, I think that would be a beautiful thing, because it would give us potentially a higher level of intimacy around something. Now, of course, if there's 10,000 people in our programs, we're going to have to figure out criteria for that. I'm not confused. I don't even know why I said if. There will be, so we'll figure out what that criteria is. But a dinner that we'll hold and celebrate together would be a truly extraordinary way to spend it. So that pops for me. What do you think, Adam Ferrando?
Game on.
I mean, that's Sean. That's what I do best. Awards, dinners, celebrations. I mean, I can't wait.
I want to know who's going to win the first ever Golden Thunderbolt. I don't even know what that is, but it's certainly going to be on the list of awards to give.
That would be amazing. And I want to share this. And this is with non-disparagement, but I want to think about how we can all think about magic. A year and a half ago, I had somebody who was a brilliant business person and in many ways, and, always entrepreneurial and creative. And it was somebody I had met anew, and it was an important relationship, or perceived it to be. Again, it was an important relationship. All relationships are important, but this one had massive impact, possibility. And the person was trying to convince me to charge money for the Christmas party, Christmas and holiday party. And I'm like, I think you're maybe missing the point. Like, no, like, and trying to explain. And so it was a very interesting perspective. And what it brought forward to me is that magic is also a science, not just a magic trick, but when we go from Huddle, yes, the science of influence, but just every experience we create, there's a science to it. There's a part of it that has, one part, the recipe, right? A formula, science, one part surprise, one part, goddess energy, or 3 parts goddess energy, 2 parts Zeus, 3 parts aspirational. Like, there's a mixture that creates the moment. Like, there's a mixture that creates the magic in a moment. And if we're committed to it as our outcome, magic is very reproducible and authentic and real and powerful and wonderful. We're our heart. And I think that part of that recipe and formula is the absence of surface and shallow. It's the absence of surface and shallow. It's the absence of cynicism. It's the absence of sarcasm. I think those things are the opposite of magic. It's the opposite of self and self-focus. It's in giving, and it's in loving. And when I would create some of these things, and Nicole would create these things, I would think about with my family, what can I do that would make my aunt happy? This entire day, and there's 30 people, and it's like, yeah, there's all these incredible things, and I would think, okay, what would be that magic moment for, Aunt Barbara? And what's that magic moment for Nani? What is going to blow the minds of the kids? It's like, pick one gift, whatever you want, out of FAO Schwartz, with no limit. Like, just pick anything you want. You want to create a Muppet? Create a Muppet. You want to, pick a video game system, and some of my family, doesn't have, it isn't abundant in financial resources. Parts of my family, parts are, and just some of the children who aren't. I mean, it was as though they had literally gone to the North Pole. And I share this on Christmas Day, not to say that it's about money, but we do say money, time, and magic. That sometimes you hear me talking about money and growth and numbers and levers, and just for those that haven't had those experiences, I'm blessed to be on the side of that dynamic where I've been privileged to create hundreds of moments for people. And those moments, as Fernando was saying about giving, have been the greatest moments of my life. To be able to take, my family to Grand Cayman and teach, my cousin Laura and son Aaron, who had never been on an airplane before, how to swim, and to have Aaron be, and Caleb and Josh, his brothers, right, to take them to FAO Schwartz, as a part of all this, and just say, you guys were just going to look around today, the first time they ever did it, and we're just looking around, right? Please, nobody ask for anything. And then to surprise them and say, pick anything you want, and to see and experience the looks on their faces, like the shock, the awe, the excitement, and to have given them not a toy, but to have given them an example of what's possible. Like, to imprint upon them when, you create resources, when you create more, an abundance of a something, whether it be money, time, or energy, how somebody can invest that into others and what that all looks like. And the whole day can be that. And then the micro moments that you know are going to impact each and every individual in mind-numbing ways, including the people who have resources, who, you know, can do all the things and have all the choices, but to give them loving, present, heartfelt acknowledgement, to bring tears to their eyes and the magic of life in the world in a moment inside of Bryant Park, in a moment where you pull them aside and you tell them what they mean to you in this magical setting and context. So as we think about on this beautiful day with no stress and you vision the future, you know, lock into your nervous system that you have the infinite and complete ability, the power of God or whatever higher power you believe. I believe God, you know, and we have the ability to write our story and create that magic and abundance in any way, and to be that example. And even if it's not an example, just a moment to give of ourselves, our presence, our resources, our love, our time, you know, that's what's at stake. So, Fernanda, thank you for that access and reminding all of us that it's the power of giving, the power of belief, you know, that Christmas and its magic and true meaning lies. So thank you for that. And as we, you know, take a moment, let's go hard stops of 60 seconds per person, and that includes, you know, all the heartfelt openness that you'll access from me and me going down, you know, a path with it. Just if anybody else wants to share a past and future for the magic of Christmas and the holiday season. Of course,
Hey,
any.
Hi, my love. It's
Yeah.
Mona.
Hello, Mona. How are you? Merry Christmas from the great
Hi,
beyond
everybody.
and the great north.
Merry Chris.
How are you doing?
I know. Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas, everybody. Listen, I wanted to share a little story with you guys from my nieces. I think that some of you know that I'm up here in Canada. It's a complicated year this year with COVID and everything. And I'm at my sister's lake house, and I have three nieces. One is 12, and the other one is 7 and 6, and a baby nephew that's 10 months old. So one of my nieces yesterday, they were all sleeping. Yeah.
So Mona is in a place, I think, that's like literally like in the North Pole of the woods. There's like how close is the closest neighbor to where you are?
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. You have to take the car.
Yeah. And you know what? I think there's a little delay, Mona, so I'll let you go because I think there's a delay. So go ahead, you share. So she's in the middle of the woods in this magical, incredible, snow-filled white Christmas with her family, her sisters, her nephew and nieces, and mom and dad. And so, yeah, back to you.
So my nieces were all sleeping in the same room, and the younger one started to cry, and she wanted to go sleep in the room where her mom and dad and brother were sleeping. And she started crying, and she said, I want to go sleep with mommy. I want to go sleep with mommy. And then, you know, we all went upstairs because she was crying. And then Felicia, the one that's the middle one, she said, yeah, but Melia, if you go and sleep with your mom and dad, then if your mom and dad are really the ones that are putting the Christmas tree, the Christmas presents under the tree, then you're going to know it's not Santa, and then you're not going to believe.
Oh, that is adorable.
That, you know, there's still magic, but there's always that part, that transition where kids become adults. And I think that a lot of us have mentioned that Christmas is magic. And Fernando and Adam said it really well. The Christmas party yesterday was just, last year was just magic. And to me, that's what Christmas is. It's about magic. It's about family. It's about a sense of belonging. It's about love, and it's about giving. It's about giving from your heart. And I noticed it last night when I gave some of my gifts. Some of them I had given money to my sisters for them to buy gifts, but some of them I picked myself. And I couldn't wait for the girls to open the gifts that I picked myself. But the other ones, it doesn't feel the same. So it's about giving from your heart. And I can't wait for the future to, merge our families, Sean, and to experience the magic together, and to be able to bring more magic to the lives of people that either don't have it, or some of them just don't know how. They have the means, they have the time, but they just don't know how. And that is what I am committed to doing in the future. So I love you guys, and Merry Christmas, and I miss all of you.
Yeah, well, thank you for that beautiful share. Love you, and I hope that every minute today is magical and incredible with your beautiful family, and they are a phenomenally tight-knit group of beautiful human beings who, like all of our families, are perfectly imperfect, but so committed to creating and sharing magic together. Just make sure that if you're giving any Christmas presents, Mona, to anybody else in the neighbors, that your dad doesn't try to take them back because he thinks they're too expensive.
Yeah, that might be hard. We'll see how that goes.
So in the spirit of fun and magic, Mona's dad, when Mona was giving some stuff away recently, was rummaging through it and taking some of the things back because he thought it was too expensive to give away. And that really happened. He was a beautiful, generous, kind, loving, giving soul, and we all have our conditioning and our wiring, and he is one amazing character in the world. So, and both his heart-centeredness and his approach to money and resources is truly, truly fun and amazing. So, Merry Christmas, and if you happen to see any of the reindeer out there, because you're much closer to the North Pole than most of us, please send our best and our love.
I will. They ate their carrots last night, so it's good. They came.
Excellent. Yes, excellent. All right, so thank you for that. Amazing. Adam, Fernando, who else we have out there who'd like to share?
Hey, Chaz, you got anyone out there with their hands raised? As I was not optics on the chat, so if anyone has their hands raised, please, kick them up here or promote them up here. And I think somebody just
Good
unmuted.
morning.
Oh my goodness.
Christmas.
There she is.
Hello.
Merry Christmas to all. In case you didn't know, it's Bella Verita.
Good morning and Merry Christmas, Bella Verita.
Good morning. Good morning. So
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, no, I heard you were muted a second ago. Okay, yep, back to you, Bella.
So I would say my favorite memories growing up, I've shared many times that, I come from a split family, and, my sister was super young when we were separated. And so whenever every other year, my mom would get my sister for Christmas, and all of my favorite memories are always with my sister and my mom, to avoid fighting. Cause if you have two girls, which you have, there could be a lot of, well, she got that and I didn't get that. So my mom always just got us all the same things, like everything, all the clothes, everything. She just bought two of everything. So there was no fighting on Christmas over toys. And I remember one year my mom had gotten us both like leather skirts and like these like outfits, and we put these outfits on, and I always loved watching my sister open her presents, because then I was like, well, then I just know what I have. But it was always more fun to like watch her open hers. And like she loved this outfit, and we put these outfits on and we like played all day in these outfits. And that was like one of my greatest memories for Christmas is with my sister. And
that is absolutely beautiful. And Well, I was going to do an end well, but I'll do it at the end. So that is beautiful, Bella. How about
It's going to be hard to
down?
keep it to 60 seconds if you commentary on all the Christmas
I know.
memories.
I do this. This is why the Thanksgiving one that I said was going to be short was 3 hours this year, or no, 2 hours and change. But please, go ahead. Christmas future.
Yes, and I would concur. Like the Christmas future with Team Unblinded and this family, and all the ecosystem mergers, and just everything that there's nothing that you do that doesn't bring more magic. And I'm just so grateful for you and this ecosystem and this family, and I just can't wait for all the Christmases to come with this new family.
Oh, that is beautiful, Bella. Thank you so much. And the magic you bring here is extraordinary. And having the I hesitate to go into the business side, the elements, but the accesses you've created around parts of what we do here, Unblinded, have been extraordinary. So it is with great excitement that we move forward into 2021. And thank you for everything. And
thank you. And maybe if I'm a really good girl with Santa or Mrs. Santa Claus Nicole, maybe she'll give me a fun special role in the Christmas party so I can bring even more magic. I have a year to work to go from hello to yes on that.
Well, yes, that is certainly possible. But she has a very special relationship with Santa and the elves, especially. But you got to be careful with that one elf. He is quite naughty. And I have a feeling that you and that elf end up in some interesting dynamics. So thank you for that.
That could definitely happen. But I promise to be a very, very, very good girl.
Amazing. All right. Thank you. Adam Frando, if you could, Merry Christmas, Bella. Continue. I think this is my children. So hang on a sec. So Frando, who's next, please?
Awesome. So, hey, team, if you wouldn't mind, just anyone that has their hand up, if you wouldn't mind bringing them up. I just currently don't have full optics. So anyone that you see with their hand raised, let's go ahead and bring them up. And anyone out there, please go ahead.
Fernando, Adam,
hey, I know
Sean,
that. What up, D?
Merry Christmas, my Unblinded family. And I wanted to drop in on Christmas past. So I'm sitting here in front of my tree right now. I'm waiting for the entire family to wake up. And I'm looking at these presents, and it just brings me back to when I was a kid, when I was 12, 13 years old. And I would be like, I'm the kid that was always decorating the tree. We didn't have a ton of money back then. So I was making these decorations. I was making the paper chains, it's a tape and construction paper and all these different colors and popcorn and string and thread. And just, I would be the guy that's hey, I'm going to bring this magic. And obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but we're not religious for this holiday, but I believe in the magic. And I just wanted to continue to bring the magic. And the flag in the ground for me going forward is again, I'm sitting here staring at the tree, and I'm waiting for the two doors to open to my right with my daughter and my son and my wife to the left. And I'm sitting here with the dog, and I'm I can't wait to see this magic. And it's just I'm talking right now, so I'm making noise. So I'm sure it's going to be any second they're going to come out, and
Amazing.
It's just going to be magical. And I want to have that magic with my kids. And I love the way that, Sean, you were talking about the ability to deliver this magic to anyone at any time in the future by taking them to FAO Schwartz and saying, hey, just pick one. And that's the possibility. That's really what's present for me. So thank you all.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Deepak, thank you. I love you so much, brother. I do. And I'm so grateful for you, Deepak. And I'm so grateful that I know the appropriate pronunciation of your beautiful name and your amazingness. That is also a Christmas gift. And like this was popping up for me before, to share from my heart. And I think it's relevant. So I think it's super relevant, without going into names. Some of my family, when I was in, my early preteen years, had like a lot of expectations around gifts. And they would ask, did you pick this out? Like when I give a gift, and, where'd you get it? And I was like, I felt so much stress as like a 12-year-old. And, listen, people deal with much bigger problems, but I just want to bring present to us expectations. And it made me really be like uncomfortable, not only around them, but like create this stress for myself around gift giving and perfectionism, that like minor thing. So, some of the work I've been doing in the last 5 years and really revisiting it in the last couple months has been around expectations. And we enrich our life when we let go. We can't control others when we let go of expectations. And especially, this is a very caretaking, loving group. And sometimes we can give, and not intentionally, we can create some expectations, like expectations about what gratitude should look like. Expectations that people shouldn't ask for more after we've given so much. And those things are showing their head for me. And I've had moments where I had so much anger and frustration and resentment. And it is rooted in expectations. So if we can all just let go, because we have boundaries. And boundaries are different than expectations. So when we give and we do, when I did those things for my family, I really did have no expectations. I didn't have expectations of what a thank you would sound like. I didn't have expectations of an acknowledgement. I just gave because my grandparents had given so much to me. And God had given so much to me. And my grandparents had given so much to me. I just wanted to give from that abundance. So we can always find our way to be giving from that place of abundance, emotionally, in every form of abundance, whether it be financial or otherwise, but emotional abundance is absolutely extraordinary. And when expectations leak in, it becomes so utterly challenging, for everybody. And it doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to go out and tell other people that no expectations. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying just accept people, accept others, and let go of our own expectations. Not easy, not perfect. I still have my charges. I'm looking to let go of my buttons. And again, thank you, Anil Gupta, for giving me more clarity on the fact that I have buttons on me that say press me. And they may be small. Yours may be small. But as we eliminate them by eliminating our expectations, even of what respect sounds like, and all those things, again, different than boundaries, but letting go of the charge that comes with expectations and just leaning into the magic. So Deepak, brother, thank you. What a beautiful share.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And, it's all about giving. And when you give, that's where the beautiful, magical feeling is. So I appreciate that. I hear you. And I thank you. Have a magical Christmas.
Oh, you too. And for me, I had let go of, when the first thing first happened, and I'll, always keep transparent, where Tyler's like, listen, Dad, like, with the traveling, and he and I had a very intense discussion around, and he and I like never disagree, almost never disagree. If we do, there's like zero energy in it. And we had our most energy filled exchange when I first got back from this last trip. And I'm like, Ty, I flew back. Like, you're ready expectations. I'm like, I flew back so I could have the test and we could be together. Like, I arranged everything the way I arranged it to be back, have the test, get the test back, and be together. It's like, Dad, it's not valid because it's this many days versus this many. The CDC guidelines say. I'm like, Ty, like, I had 4 negative COVID tests, and he's like, but Dad, like, this is where we're at. And Grandpa, he had, all the discussions that made sense. He was saying, and I was so upset, and I actually, which I've never, ever, ever had anything like this happen. I hung up without saying goodbye on the phone, and I called back 5 minutes later and continued. But I was so hurt I was so upset. And inside of me, I was like, you know, I did this, I did that, I did this so we could be together. Do you understand what I did? And those were all expectations. And the expectations were, if I do all these things and move heaven and earth, and this is why, for real, even when certain things happened when I was away, I was so charged because I didn't want to be away. And I knew I was at risk for getting quarantined, and I navigated through all the things. And I'm like ready to be home and ready to be with them. And then they're like, you know, no. And I was like, expectations, charge flaring, right? And ready? Now watch this. I didn't let go of all expectations. And everything was like clear, clean. I had a very emotional, tear-filled hour-and-a-half conversation about, you know, our love and all the things we're talking about today in the driveway, you know, a few days ago. And so yesterday, you know, all of a sudden, you know, my daughter calls me, Courtney calls, you know, Dad, just, you know, open the door, you know, we're here. And they were just outside and they had made cookies. And that was a tradition that also my family had. We had the cookie bake. So we'd have, and I offer that to all of you, a magical thing that the Saturday before Christmas or 2 Saturdays before Christmas, usually the Saturday before, we'd have a cookie bake with my grandmother and same group of people that we've been in New York with, basically. And we do certain like sugar cookies, and you know, people decorate them, and it's just so beautiful. I start crying. And if everything had been the way I anticipated, it would have been so beautiful to all be together, which of course we're always together on Christmas. I've never, ever not been with my kids on Christmas morning, ever. Like, this is the first time ever in my life. And they're 21, 19, and 17. And if we had, I am confident it would not have as much magic and emotion as them showing up with the cookies yesterday as a surprise in love at 21, 19, and 17. They're not 6, 8, and 10. You have like 21, 19, and 17-year-old children make Christmas cookies and be there, and just be there in love and wanting to do something to touch my heart, like filled my heart and beyond with buckets and buckets of love and magic and gratitude. You know, beautiful. And so it's, as Deepak was sharing, just those little tiny things we could do for people, and it was done for me. So again, Deepak, thanks for that access, brother.
Yeah, turn your expectations into appreciation is really what's popping for me. So thank you for that access.
Yeah,
love you all. I'm magical.
Yeah, love you.
Holidays,
brother. Thank you. Adam Frando, any other fine folks? Gina, what's up, Gina? How are you?
Hey guys, sorry, couldn't get the unmute. Good morning.
Are you in the shower, Gina?
Merry
Yo,
Christmas.
I was thinking, I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
What'd he say?
I knew it.
I said, are you in the shower?
Yeah.
You love
No.
that fun fact, don't you? That's so funny.
I'm not in the shower. The unmute button has finally come up. Are you guys there? Are you there?
Yes, we are here. We are here.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
okay, finally it said unmute. Good morning and Merry Christmas, you guys. Sean, your memories were bringing up so much for me. As a little girl, I was 3 years old when my family moved out of Jersey City. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. And we would still go to Jersey City for Christmas Eve. Because my uncle, who lives in a tiny house on Mallory Ave in Jersey City, and he's still there today, would have like 50, I don't know how many of us in there, 30 probably, in this tiny house. And as I had my own kids, and it was always magical when we would be driving up when we were kids, my parents would, point out, there's Rudolph's nose, and there's Rudolph's nose. There he is. Of course it was like, the lights of Jersey City, like the who knows, the fumes from like the what's on the Parkway and by Newark, there'd be like all the factories and stuff. But of course we believed it was Rudolph's nose, or lights from airplanes. But as I got older, I had such a reverence. I mean, as a child, I had a reverence driving into the city and like seeing the lights of Manhattan. And I was like, I just had this reverence for God and Jesus and for what was happening, and for like this feeling of love and excitement to be with my family. And as I got older and had my own kids, and I wanted to go into the city and because I loved the energy of the city and the energy I felt driving up on Christmas Eve. I would like have tears like driving up to Jersey City and seeing the Twin Towers as we were driving in, and just this feeling. I can't express it. I don't know what it is, but it was like a reverence. And as I had my own kids, I wanted to go into New York City before we went to my uncle's in Jersey City. We'd go into New York City, go to, I had a reservation for us at the Plaza Hotel. I had two little girls at that time before my daughter passed away. And I had such excitement for it, going there and like going to FAO Schwartz and like taking them to the tree and walking around Central Park and going on a carriage ride. Like that was what I wanted to create as my own tradition.
Wow.
And I loved it. I'm sorry, it died when my daughter died. I tried to recreate it when my son was born many years later, but it was different. Life was different, but it was so, it was just amazing when I wanted to. And life, life changes for everybody. You have these dreams, and I had these dreams, and I think that one of the things when my daughter died was like thinking that was gone. I could never do that again. And I didn't mean to go into all the sadness of it, because it's amazing memories, and it was beautiful. And we were talking about FAO Schwartz and all of that. My heart just like, it's an amazing memory for me. It's beautiful. You gave me access with your memories, and thank you for that. And, we carried on the tradition of pointing out the window and driving up there and, whatever, and anything at night on Christmas Eve that was red was Rudolph's nose, lights on airplanes, whatever it was, until the kids didn't believe anymore, of course. But beautiful memories. And thank you for that. And I am excited and grateful that I have this new chosen family with you all, and these amazing people in my life now, and that I have, I have my family. It's really different this year. Everybody's spread out. My parents are alone with COVID down at their own house. They're sad, they're feeling sad, but it just is what it is for a lot of people in the world. But I'm super grateful to have opportunity to be here and to sort of celebrate. And we're not expected to be here, by the way. Anybody listening, like Sean does not expect like his team to be like here. I mean, at least for me, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And like, but this is family for me. Like, I want to be here today, right now on this call. And I'm so thankful for, Adam, Fernando, for you, for everybody who's committed to this mission to give, to bring truth, to help people have more money, time, and magic in their lives. That I am excited that now, like as I moved forward in my life, I feel it. Like I feel all of it happening. And so thank you. So Merry Christmas, everybody. I love you guys. Have an amazing day.
Love you too, Gina.
And I appreciate you. So
yeah, and Gina, you never need to even leaning into the space of your incredible loss. And I don't even begin to have words or concept except to say you're loved, you're cared about deeply, and that is never, ever, as an empath, as I am, it is never, ever lost on me, in any encounter I have with you. And it doesn't define you, and it is a part of you. And that magic is there and is there forever. And I believe that in every part of my being. And I believe, and not to go to, heavy, heavy places, I believe wholeheartedly that you will be reunited again. And all of this will have been a blip on a radar screen. And, what happens between now and then, let us create as much magic as we possibly can in the world. So from my heart to yours, love you. And I hope you can have a beautiful day in that space.
Thank you. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Love you guys.
Love you. Unblinded team, Who else is out there, if anybody?
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Erica. Hey,
Hi.
Merry Christmas, Erica.
Thanks. And Merry Christmas to you too. So last year on Christmas Day, I had one of the most magical Christmases ever. I was delivering food to the homeless, and I physically went to homeless people in Manhattan and shook some of their hands. I danced with them. I was nervous if they were on the street, right? Like they're like not like there was no like line up, here's your soup, go away, like that. Like I don't mean to say that, but like it was not structured. And Barbara Maynard, interestingly enough, in the Elite, had this idea, and she caused leadership in us in New York to go do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. And we had book bags and we handed out food. And I was once homeless like the year before. I don't know if my dad knows it, but my dad's listening. Sorry, love you. And I'm doing fine. And, it was amazing. I didn't just give them food, Sean. I poured hope into them. Like I was, I heard you speak days before me. And so I'm like, and I heard Tony speak, and I was at Date with Destiny, and I'm like giving them like, like gifts of opportunity, and like acknowledging them for just being there and who they are and how special they were and the difference they're making for me. And I have pictures, I was going to call them Facebook, that are going to remind me of this moment that is absolutely brilliant. And weeks before I had the worst time in my world, I thought about not being on this planet. Dad, I love you. I'm fine. And, and this year, Sean, you asked us to do something. Did you want to say something? I don't want to interrupt you. You wanted to say something.
No, not at all. No, I was smiling and just making sounds of, I'm hearing you. Please continue. Yeah.
Great. And like to know that I wish I could be in the city doing that this year, and I couldn't, right? Like for dynamics of COVID. And I was like, well, where else could I do something similar that's going to have an impact like this? So yesterday on Christmas Eve, and I'm going to be doing this tomorrow as well, I went business to business with a gift, and I'm doing an introduction to like, we're going to be merging ecosystems with restaurants. And I know that if we don't do something for the restaurants, and you were talking about this yesterday on the Huddle, and you didn't know that I had already created this, or maybe you did, a speaking engagement on December 29th, 90 minutes, where we're merging ecosystems, and we're having people come together to learn the formula, to learn about also, and not just anybody, but like specifically business owners who are in danger of their business closing and getting free training about what it could look like to create real bra. And I went door to door and used the rapport building questions and found out information from people. I had 18 conversations, or 16. I texted the number to Adam yesterday. 16 conversations in 4 hours and 8 registrations. Wow. 8 registrations, but more people will be registering. And I could see where I was suboptimal, like where I was like not listening. I just wanted to force an outcome, like, come on, you need to be here. And then there was other ones. I listened and I heard like what got them into the business, what had them fall in love with this, and what would happen if, like, are you staying open, or like, and I literally like, and they're thanking me. And so instead of handing a Subway sandwich, I actually handed like a gift of like a future for their business. And it was so awesome to be able to do this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because as a realtor, to know that I can give this gift and walk around and spread some joy and hope and say, I know you're 6 months behind on your lease because you're allowed to do that and you don't have to pay taxes and all that stuff. But is the dream of your business still alive? Like, do you have it in your heart to keep going? Because if so, show up. And then I thank you for causing that in me, because I can now keep the dream of not having, and not, this isn't just for Bayside Queens. This is around the world. We could be doing this. We only have 100 people available for spots available on our Zoom link. But if it is full, we'll have another one. Like, I'm not concerned. I'm not confused.
Erica, with all my heart, thank you. I love you. And I and we see you I and we hear you. And to myself, Adam Fernando, and the entire Unblinded ecosystem, what you say matters to us. And with all of my heart, my gift to you is you are loved, you are enough, you are more than enough, you are perfectly imperfect, and you need do nothing to be loved. And the generosity of those actions are beautiful and enormous. And they anchor on you need to do nothing to be loved. Just be you. And you're amazing.
Thank you. And I appreciate you so much and giving, like knowing that it's, oh, I'm sorry, continue.
No, and I'm sorry for interrupting. I want you to know this. You don't have to do a single thing. Do a single thing to be loved and appreciated by anybody here, including me. I love you and appreciate you if you don't lift a finger. And I am grateful for ever having met or known you. And thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you for that. And I know that I have to lift a finger for me, because last year I thought about not being on this planet because I didn't give enough. And now by giving, and trust me, there'll be money. If those places need to close and the landlords need, I know there'll be money.
Yeah.
I'm not confused, but it feels so, I feel so alive.
Beautiful.
And I just want you to I want to thank everyone for keeping this dream alive, like this dream of, because these restaurants, you said go eat from them, and it's just, you're right, like we don't have to buy a sweater. I mean, or unless it's a small business that's closing, like, but I thank you so much for that gift that I was already thinking about last week, but I'm like, I'm gonna go yesterday. What's my zone action? Walk the streets. And I won an award for door knocking as a realtor. And I can't knock doors in New York. Like, I can't do it. And I won an international award for door knocking. The restaurant owners were so grateful for me to just hear their story. So thank you for that. And anyone can do this. Like, you can learn how to do it. I'll drop the link in the chat again, because it's so easy. And we don't have to wait till next year to celebrate Christmas. Christmas isn't canceled. Aren't canceled. You can go out today, tomorrow, and actually spread joy and give people the gift that's going to keep on giving, which is keeping their dream of their business or their restaurant alive, or helping them cash out. Like if they need to sell, I mean, I'm a realtor, I can help anywhere in the world, but that's first find out if they want to keep their business open, and let's go serve. Thank you.
Yes, you're amazing. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and thank you, Erica.
Thank you for you and this opportunity. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Unblinded team.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and you know what? I think, Nicole, did we have Tank though at the same time as Erica? I just thought that for a second.
That's okay. You can go. I can wait.
No, go please, because Tank was there, and then we'll go. The amazing.
I'm always in service of, so if Harry wants to go, Craig can go.
Yeah, no, good. You were going at the same time as Erica, Nicole. Please.
Just want to say Merry Christmas, and by far the greatest gift I've received this year is this Unblinded family. The place I can go to give, the place I can go to love, and bring magic to. And as you were speaking of acceptance, I truly feel fully accepted in this group. None of us are perfect, and I'm certainly not, but I'm so thankful to have a place in a group like this where I can feel safe and loved and see magic every single day in that chat. And that speaks worlds about the people in this group. And I'm so thankful to have found a group like this together. I have never seen anything like this anywhere in the world. So I thank you, Sean, for bringing all of us together, and for your leadership that causes this, and for the leadership of every single person in this movement that has also allowed this to grow and become as magical and loving as it is. Merry Christmas. And I love every single one of you. You're each a gift in my life. Thank you.
Nicole, we love you. I love you. I am so grateful for you. your Tinkin magic. And I know this year you suffered a tremendous loss. And that is very present for me. And the same thing I said for Gina, this is magical, incredible, and this is just a blip on the radar, our time here on this beautiful, incredible planet. And you make that time richer for everybody on this line and more magical. And when I have been at my points of max exhaustion, max frustration, max feeling I can't possibly deal with another thing and just want to run away and hide in a cave and just like write books and listen to Alexa, even though I don't know how to get power in a cave to listen to Alexa. Your work ethic and your caring and your representing what this entire mission is all about has been one of the key focal dynamics that has kept me going. And thank you for your protection of me. Thank you for being Tink to Pan and trying to keep all of it away, all the danger, all the harm. And for those that know the relationship of Peter Pan and Tink, sometimes Peter didn't listen and pay attention, and Tink would be freaking out because she knew and she was protecting. And Tink even saved Peter and almost gave her own life for it and was willing to. And I don't know what I did to deserve this, but thank you. I cannot thank you enough for your love, your protection, and your commitment. So, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. You're not Santa.
So, thank you. Craig, what's up, brother? I am not getting a massage right now, so this would be an opportune time to talk because I'm usually getting massage and wrapped in a towel when we meet. So, how are you?
Between the laughing and crying, and I will always, Tink, I will always bow out any time that I have to a microphone in lieu of you stepping in front of it, Nicole. I agree with Sean that your love and heart and smile and joy is so overflowing every time I see you. And the messages you put into that chat help us to continue on this mission, and everything that Sean, you have done to create this, and Fernando and Adam and everybody that is involved in Unblinded to bring this to us. Nicole, you are a driving force in all of that. And everybody appreciates you more than I think any words could ever express. So thank you. And I'm honored actually to just be able to speak or be called up at the same time as you. So, you asked about Christmas past and futures and all that wonderful stuff. So quickly, I mean, my Christmas past, we're not all that, overflowing, because we didn't really have that growing up. But my mother just loved the lights and always brought us around to go see the lights. And as most people, as some people know, we spoke about this on the 8 o'clock call. For those of you out there, is that today is my bar mitzvah of sorts. It's 13 years since I decided to no longer drink or use any minor mood altering substances. And you know, as your son was talking about yesterday, the real birthday that Jesus was born on was not necessarily the 25th. I always say I'm the Jew that was actually reborn on the 25th of December.
Oh, wow.
So it's
That's
today
so
has
Craig.
been an amazing day for me for a very long time. And my wife and I always worked together. So we always had off, and my kids always had school on Christmas. It was the one day a year. And we always used to go and spend the time. And you said, what would you do to bring something like that in the future? And we used to go to like a spa for the day and just spend the day together. And it was like the one day a year where we knew we could just spend the time together. And we did that for years. Hasn't happened in a few years now, but I am truly looking forward to the days when we get to do that with our kids, where we get to say in the future for Christmas or whatever it is, and happy Christmas, Kwanzaa, and Festivus for the rest of us today. We should all like it would just to be able to spend that time with our family, whether it's at a spa or in the Grand Caymans, or even in the backyard, to just be able to spend the time together. Like you and your son were talking about yesterday, sitting in the driveway doing so and crying together. But be able to hug next time around, I hope. And just the joy and love and gratitude and excitement and all of that is overflowing. I apologize, Sean, please.
Oh no, Craig, that is amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for the choices, the commitment, coming back from a place so many people can never find their way back from. And I hold no judgment around it in any way. I just hold acknowledgement of the grips, of the pain, that addiction, and substances can bring to people's lives. And it certainly has impacted my life. And not directly, but people around me, right? For those who don't know, I've never had an addiction challenge, but I've had addiction challenges around me and my family. And they have been scary and painful. So Craig, the gift that you gave to yourself, your family, and the world as being an example of possibility, and so many others, and your generosity, brother, for everything here. It's extraordinary. And and we love you so much. And we have so much fun to have, and so much more to share and to co-create. And I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I love you too. I love that. Thank you so much for the messages in the chat. And I really do love every person here at any given time. If anybody obviously would like to speak in it, on or offline, I'm always available. And I just appreciate having the opportunity to be part of all this. So thank you, Sean, for creating this and making the space, and like Nicole said, causing the leadership in this movement, in this world, the way that you do. Fernando, I want to share with you that was my wife's birthday was December 20th, and she went out shopping with my daughter, and she came back with two things for me, a shirt and a sweatshirt without a hood. And being the man of not very intelligent, possibly, first thing I said was, it doesn't have a hood.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So I get your pain, my brother.
That's
all right,
funny.
I love you all. Have an outstanding.
Love you. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and certainly fantastic Festivus.
Amazing.
All right, Unblinded team. You have been a rock star, my friend. How are you?
Hello, good morning, and Merry Christmas to all of you. I am good. I have to say, Sean, you brought up so many memories for me, which I completely forgot about because my mother used to take us. So most people don't know this, but I have a brother that was sick when I was little. So the younger years, for a lot of years, I grew up with babysitters, family members, cousins. My parents were not around much. They basically went to work in the hospital, and we just were displaced everywhere and anywhere but. But one thing that my mother always did was not necessarily on holidays, but for some reason on Sundays, she didn't want us growing up as tourists in the city. I grew up in Brooklyn. And so I forgot about this. And when you started saying the story about F.E.O. Schwartz, it reminded me that she would take us to, I've been to F.E.O. Schwartz like a million times, and to every other museum that exists, like in Manhattan, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. And she would always just take us to like the Intrepid and the Radio Museum and Sony Wonders and like Ben Franklin and everything and Central Park and, you know, ice skating and whatever it was. And it just brought back so many good memories that I have of spending time with like my mother and my siblings. My father never came along. He didn't like any of these adventures. So it was usually just siblings, or he had to stay home with my brother. But yeah, it really brought back like a lot of just really fun times, because when we would go out on these trips, like if my brother wasn't with us, it was just like we didn't have to worry if something would happen to him, or if like, because everything revolved around him always. But when we went out, we got to be kids again for like a little bit. And yeah, it just really brought back a lot of memories. It's interesting because I've never felt Christmas so strongly. Like, I'm Jewish, so I've never celebrated Christmas. But for some reason this year, I felt like I really saw the magic that exists. I started volunteering at a food bank about 5 weeks ago that started out of a church here in Vegas. They've given almost 9 million pounds of food already. And they've just, and I go there a couple of times a week in the mornings after the call, and they just like, it's very family oriented, and they had this whole like Thanksgiving experience and then Christmas experience where they lit up the whole parking lot and cars came through, like thousands of cars came through, where they gave out food and turkeys for Thanksgiving, and then Christmas like sweaters and books and games. And it was just such a like magical thing to be a part of. And I was thinking like, maybe I should go. I've never really been to church. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go check out what this Christmas thing is. And so they had like a Christmas service type of thing, with just like all the songs. Like they said last year they actually did the Polar Express in the church, but because of COVID, they couldn't make it so extravagant. But they had like all these performances, and it really showed me what, like I woke up this morning and I'm just like, it's so sad that I don't have a family now for Christmas. But aside from that, so volunteering at this place, I don't have a lot to give, like financially, but I have a lot to give elsewhere. And it really reminded me, we give, so I would take my friend's friend works in this car wash place, and there's all these people that work there, like 30 workers, and they don't like that wash the cars, and they don't have a lot. And so one week there was boxes left and not enough to send it back to like the main place. So the guy was like, can you guys take the boxes of food and try to give it to people? So I have 15 boxes in my car, and I'm like, I don't know 15 families. Like, I don't even know my neighbors. I'm like, and I live in a very affluent area with like, I live in a house with a couple of people, and I'm like, they don't need it. I mean, I don't know that, but I just like posted on group chats, like, does anyone have anyone that needs food or whatever? So I gave some of them out, and my friend's like, yeah. So I started bringing boxes of food with her to this car wash place. And this week on the way there, I really needed the bathroom. And so I stopped at a gas station a few blocks away and ran in to go to the bathroom. And I have my car full of boxes of food. So I asked the people working there, like, I volunteer at a food bank and I have all this food in my car that I'm dropping off somewhere. Do you guys need food? And the girl was like, what do you mean you have food? I'm like, I have boxes of food that I'm about to drop off somewhere, but if you guys need, I would love to give some to you. And she started crying. She's like, I'm like, how many people work here? She's like, 4 of us. She's like, for us? I was like, yeah. And I remember she just like, her face just like, she started crying. And the other worker was like, are you serious? Like, what's in it? I'm like, chicken and meat and like vegetables and dairy and just like, and I remember in my heart, I was thinking like, this is the most beautiful thing to be able to give to someone that really needs it. And I just was like, I know, I just pray one day that I have the financial means to just be able to give to everyone, because I remember just standing there watching her cry, and I'm like, this is like the most beautiful thing ever, that I can give from something that I don't even have. And it was just and I remember texting my friend, she's like, you have to stop at that gas station every week now. And I'm going to, like, this just happened on Tuesday. She's like, you have to stop there and give them boxes now because we know they need it. And it just was like, it really showed me you don't need to have, like, financially, I have so little, but everything else I have so much. And all you have to do is just like show up and give. And I feel like I have everything in the world when I know, like, and people ask me all the time, like, I have people that I haven't spoken to that message me because I post my stories on Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook all the time. And people are always like, I have people sending me messages like, Liba, you got me to work out again. Like, my husband asked, like, people are happy again. And people are just, doing things from me doing the simplest things that I never realized. Like, I know people tell me all the time, I have so much to give. And I know that. And I know that it's just, sometimes it's harder for me to recognize it in myself, but just hearing the feedback from people. And really, that girl at the gas station, like they say, when you give, you sometimes get so much more back in return. And I feel like, by me giving of my time, I'm getting like I remember just like sitting there in my car and crying after I dropped off the boxes. And I'm like, because all the cars are coming through, and like for 2 hours I'm handing out boxes to cars coming to pick it up, but they know it's available, and like it's such a beautiful thing. But the fact that, like, I felt like she didn't know this was coming to her. She just woke up. They just woke up and went to work. And for anyone working in a gas station, I can't imagine they're making that much money. And so it just really opened up my eyes and my horizon that I have so much to give. Ever since meeting, you guys brought Brittany on the call, and I was just so amazed that there's this girl that's my age that's doing so much. And so I started just like researching everything that she does, and I discovered her aerial recovery group with the hurricanes, and I'm like, I want to be a part of that. And I started doing all the trainings and everything, because I'm like, I love to give. Like, I'm a nurse. I tried doing Nurses Without Borders, but I don't speak French or Arabic, so I can never get onto that. But like, I love what she does, and I'm just learning that there's so many ways to give. And I know that, but like, I always get stuck by the fact that like I can't buy things for people, but I don't need to. So anyways, I'm super grateful for this, like, for Unblinded. When I joined Unblinded, I was a nurse, never did sales. And I was just like, I'm around all these people that are so big, that run these companies that are like super successful. And who am I to be here? Like, I felt super imposter syndrome. And for a while, I just kind of like dropped out of Unblinded. Like, I didn't call in. I just like was like, I don't belong. And then I was like, no, Liba, like, you belong. And being here is just going to make you a better person of who you already are. So I just have so much thanks. I know it's a little more than 30 seconds, but so much thanks and gratitude. You guys have no idea how much like this year has changed for me. And, after going to Unblinded, I was on meds for a long time. And in January 11th, like Sunday night, I left there and I was just like, I don't need medication anymore. I am in complete control. And that was the last day I ever took meds, except for a few Tylenols here and there. And January was a really hard month for me. It was very hard. A lot was happening, but it was a blessing in disguise. I had an Ironman training camp for a week in Florida. And then I went to Chris Kroon's event, and it really helped me just understand the power of me and my body and our mind. And like, yeah, anyways, I just want to say thank you to all of you. So much appreciation and gratitude.
Thank you for your inspiration, your giving, your heart. There were tears to my eyes. If all that happened from that January event is that was a small part of your transition to coming off meds and stepping into a new space in your life of inspiration, of giving, of training, of leading, I'm just so thankful. And you belong, and then some. And we need you as a leader, and we need all of you as leaders. And so, Liba, thank you. That was a beautiful share.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And if I may just
Unblinded.
share a quick story.
Definitely, please.
Thank you.
Please.
And Liba, there's many things I've wanted to say, and I've just sat and listened, and I've been truly taking it in. Liba, you pushed that limit in me as I've been recently rereading the Bible, and there's a story, and I don't know the whole story, so I'll probably butcher it. Sean, please add some depth of detail. Is when Jesus is coming into the town, and everyone is coming to see him and visit him, and they're giving him all these gifts, and all these princes are giving this, and all these people are giving that, and all these carpenters are giving this. And there comes a lady, and she gives half a nickel, whatever that was back then. And everyone starts making fun of her and laughing at her, and this is what you give Jesus, why are you even here, and all these crazy dynamics. And Jesus comes up to her and in front of everyone, and hugs her and loves her. And I believe the sentence, what resonated with me, and then just hearing your story, that's the Bible. Now hearing you, it's personified and real, and hearing your reaction to it, it just brings it home for me. Was this, all of you may have given what you have given, but this, Jesus speaking to her, said she gave of what she had not. And if you were to measure what she has given infinitely more than everyone else, because she didn't have anything to give. So I'm certainly not comparing you to that woman. I am certainly saying, that story resonates for me in times where I wish I would have given. And because of my scarcity, I didn't. So you brought that alive for me today, as I have been pondering that story in my subconscious mind. So I just really wanted to not miss the magic and say thank you for being strong, for sharing that story. As as Sean said, if all we've done all year is impact the trajectory shift that you just blessed us with, I can go to sleep feeling like I had a pretty freaking amazing year. And I'll pause there.
Yes. No, thank you, Fernando. And
thank you.
That was amazing, and we love you and are so grateful for you.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm crying so much, but yeah. I'm good. We could go on.
No, I love you. We love you. And this is a family, and we are perfectly imperfect. But we are rising in our mastery of how we do this and come together. So this is amazing. Unblinded team. Amazing. Okay. Lorelai, good morning. Merry Christmas. And please, the stage and the microphone are yours.
Hello. Excuse me. Merry Christmas. Can you hear me?
Yes. Merry Christmas.
So I just wanted to, all those stories were amazing. And Liba, I think maybe a lot of the tears were hearing you belong, because you do belong. And you give a lot to the world, and always see you sharing your heart. So, and now I'm feeling emotional because, yeah, you just give everyone so many gifts. And I just want to say that, yeah, I'm so grateful to be a part of Unblinded. And as Bella said, this is definitely to a family that I never had. And so it's very special, and to be on a team and work with a team, and the dynamics of that. And I love everyone on the team, and I love you so much. You're out there. You always make me smile every day. And I feel that, yeah, just being in this movement makes you a better person, and makes you see things you don't see, that you can then, be better. So just quickly with my past Christmas tradition. So I'm an only child. I had a very difficult childhood and whatnot. So there's a lot that resonates for me, but I was raised by my grandparents. And so I do have some, beautiful memories of she's Irish, but she lived in London. And so we would make these incredible, like British Christmas cakes. And that was just a special memory of just putting it all together. It would take days to do. And then, so I was an only child, and I lived in Canada next door to an only child, and we went to school together. And so every year in the winter, but Christmas Eve, days before, we would, her dad would flood the grass to turn it into an ice rink. So it was a beautiful memory with Christmas music and skating in her backyard. So that was beautiful. And for now, Christmas present is, I feel like the gift for me this year now is the dynamics, of course, for everyone are so different during Christmas. And for me, it's super different because my family's in Canada and my kids are not with me and whatnot. But I thought, well, what can I do? Rather than feeling sad and alone, what can I do to shift this to turn it into a positive? So I was happy that I had that mindset, and how can I give rather than feeling displaced and sad, and knowing that we all are, there's, everyone has an element of that this year. So I just feel super grateful to be a part of this movement and just have time today to think of what I'm grateful for and how I can be better going into January.
Lorelei. And you don't need to be better ever. Just keep growing your mastery. And when you drop into your heart, there's no need to ever be sorry for it. Like, we hold space for your heart. We hold space for your goddess energy, your emotion, your tears, your presence. And I love you. You are loved. You are home. This is family. And the things you have done, the contributions you have made have been mind-bogglingly extraordinary. And thank you. You've been an incredible gift to all of us. So thank you, Lorelei.
Thank you. I love you all.
I love you too. Merry Christmas. And yes, send everybody out there our love. Wink, wink.
Okay.
All right. So Unblinded team will go going for finals. I'm sorry, any other people will go going once, going twice, going 3 times.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. I just wanted to, Vince is here and he's behind the scene. It's Erica. And I just feel like the tech team, I don't think they get acknowledged enough. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry to step in, but I just want to, he's a rock star. Right? Like
Erica,
freaking rock star.
It would not have been today without that beautiful Erica access point. So love you and amazing. Yes. So Vince, Miles, Chaz, all of you, thank you for everything that you do and for all of those that are unnamed. So Vince, thank you for being here this morning and doing everything, and anything you want to share, brother. No, Vince, Merry Christmas, and thank you for everything that you do. It is, and Erica's right. Thank you, Erica. It is a Christmas morning, and this has been long, and thank you for being here and doing such a beautiful job of loving, giving, sharing. So thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. All right. AG, final, brother.
This was for me. I will say there's been a lot of amazing Christmases, and just hearing the stories this morning and being able to experience it with everybody here. And I know so many of us are not with our families today and, in person, but for sure, everybody here is a family. And it filled a lot of voids for me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone and Merry Christmas. And looking forward to 2021 and the next Christmas. One more thing, Sean, you brought up you brought up somebody wanted to charge for the Christmas party. It made me think of somebody wanting to put flyers out at the Christmas party to be able to sell tickets for the Unblinded event. Good thing we didn't do that.
Yeah, I was like, no. Yeah, not making fun or disparaging.
No, and I was no, and we were not. I was not. We were all against that, but I just thought of that before. But celebrating with this.
It is amazing. Love you, Adam Gugino. So grateful for you, brother. You are beyond words.
You are a leader of leaders, my friend, and you as well, Fernando. And yes, tech team, thank you so much. See you on Monday.
And Chaz, we're going to go to Fernando for a final. And then when we wrap it up, we're just going to go out with Believe. I think it's Believe by Josh Groban. Yeah, the final song from Polar Express, Josh Groban. So Fernando, final, brother. Love you. So grateful for you. So proud of you. What do you got?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, team. And thank you for everyone staying. And thank you, Erica, for acknowledging the tech team. Very meaningful. And what I will share and end with is this. On Wednesday, when we had, Bella's dinner, I shared one of the things I'm deeply grateful for Adam is the way he continuously shows up and the blessing in the world of humanity of his consistency, because you always know the Adam Gugino you're going to get. And as I've thought about that day, as I always do, I say the same about you, Sean. I remember early on, and there's jokes with time and Twizzlers and, just dying in the ocean and all these things. And, at first it was crazy. I was like, oh my God, this guy Sean is crazy. And he's not. He's actually Sean. And I'm just so grateful. I am grateful for your commitment to yourself and the way you show up. I remember early on, I've been part of many groups, many, more expensive than ours at the moment. And no leader gives the way you give. I remember early on going, why is this guy going past 9 o'clock at a Tuesday call? It's this is crazy. It's ridiculous. What do you mean he's doing over 30 minutes on the huddle? It's ridiculous. And as I laugh on Thanksgiving, when we weren't sure, everything was running a little late. And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to keep this all short. We're going to be done at 8:45. And then 2.5 hours later, your magic comes in. And now as I've matured and I've gotten to see, hear, and know you, I looked forward to this call today. As I knew what it was going to be, I knew how long it was going to go. And I am grateful that you've consistently showed up as a leader you are, and given us this gift, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that would echo. Thank you for constantly giving and constantly setting the bar on what a movement is really all about. Back to you, Sean.
You're welcome and received, and thank you, because you're right here with me as well, and all of us. And thank you all. I love you. We love you. You are loved. You're home. This is family. This is team. And today I offer a couple of thoughts. Christmas Vacation, amazing fun movie. The Polar Express, another amazing fun movie. It's a Wonderful Life. And these are all the energetic variances can be found in those selections today. And a little dash of The Dark Knight, and maybe a little dash of Star Wars: A New Hope, if one is looking for some full round of aspirational energy with all of those beautiful moments. I offer those thoughts. So It's a Wonderful Life, Polar Express, Christmas Vacation, The Dark Knight, Star Wars: A New Hope as some thoughts for a way to spend the day with some beautiful Christmas movies and access points, and whatever else matters to you, you can throw it in the chat. any other thoughts that you have. So love you all. It is Merry Christmas. And, Chaz, again, thank you for all the great work that you're doing. And let's take it out with the conclusion song to Polar Express as we realize that the bell still rings for all of those who can find the way to believe. So love you. Merry Christmas.